One of the most common complaints we hear from customers about their dryers is it's noisy. And the noises can vary anything from a squeal to a chirp to a bird singing to rattling and grinding. So pretty well anything that's a moving component in your dryer can cause some of those noises. So talk about rattling for a minute. A lot of times you hear a rattle in a dryer, it's probably something that's been put in it that didn't come with the dryer, such as a flat washer or screws or money. You know, all those times we've always been told, don't put stuff in your pockets. Don't put stuff in your pockets. Or at least empty them before you put them in the dryer, because they inevitably will come out, they'll get in your dryer, and you'll wind up hearing sounds like this. So in some cases, you'll hear those rattles, such as this one, and you can't even see anything. So you look in your drum and there's not anything there. But these little baffles have a way of allowing things to get in between the drum and themselves. So emptying your pockets is really important, because any of these small items will eventually come out. They'll either get into those baffles and make that rattling sound, or the other thing that'll often happen is coins or washers or anything small can make themselves get thrown up in between your drum and the back wall where that felt is. They'll actually get tucked up under there, and they rotate along with the drum, and they'll give you a screeching or a scraping sound. And you usually wind up having to take them apart in order to find them. But if you're getting that rattling, scraping sound, there's a very good chance that it's just something either in those baffles or in those drum felts. Other sounds your dryer will make may be thumping or squealing sounds, or maybe even a chirp like a bird. On most dryers, they have a belt, and they have a device that keeps the belt tight. It's called an idler pulley. On that idler pulley, this is an example of one, it's just a bushing in the inside that spins on a shaft. Well, that bearing was built with oil built into it. And over time, that oil dissipates and they start to run dry. And when they do, they build up a little bit of heat and a little bit of friction, and you'll start to get noise. Usually it's a squeak or a chirping sound. And eventually, if not addressed soon enough, this will continue to wear out and you'll start getting a fairly loud rattling noise. And eventually it'll get to the point where the bearing will actually tighten right up on the shaft, and then you'll wind up with a rubbing sound, and even possibly even smelling a bit of a burning smell. So an idler pulley will do that. Dryer also has a drum roller. Most of them look like this on majority machines. Some manufacturers use a little different style from another. Some use just 2, some use 4. But again, this is a bearing with oil in it, and over time, as a normal wearing part, these little guys will dry out and they'll give you that same kind of rattling or chirping or scraping sound. So if you're getting that from the inside of your dryer, there's a very good chance that either it's your drum rollers or your idler pulleys. Something you may want to check. Another noise you may be hearing from your dryer is a bit of a rubbing sound, almost like something's dragging. And that could be a result of either a worn drum felt or a worn drum bearing. These are usually on the front and back of your drum, and as they wear over time, they'll start to actually come loose. They may even be able to fold over and get jammed in between, so you'll get a bit of a rubbing sound, like a cloth rubbing hard against something. These can even rub to a point where they'll actually stop the drum itself and possibly even break the belt. So if you're getting that really loud rubbing sound, you want to have that looked at and find out if it's one of these that's giving you the grief. Another noise your dryer may make is a bit of a, hard to explain, but it'd be like a tap, 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 tap sound. What'll happen is a belt on your dryer, which most often looks like this, they'll start to fray and split apart, and a little piece will either come off like a little bit of a whip. And as it goes around, it'll wind up slapping the side of the cabinet, and you'll get that tap, tap, tap. So these belts can go quite a while doing that, but eventually they'll continue to split and fray, and your belt will break, and the sound will go away altogether, and chances are your dryer will stop as well.